gonna go ahead and start my video as well. So,
Well, hopefully I won't scare you.
no, you can't scare me.
You're not easily scared. Well, I'm not scared too much.
Yeah, so it's a lot, spirituality has really opened my eyes and it's really helped me to grow to somebody that I needed to become. When I was younger, I was the type of person that was scared to go into a dark room. I was scared of almost everything. You know what I mean?
Really? Oh,
yes.
Wow.
And that's embarrassing for a male. But when you didn't have any masculine figures in the house to kind of like, rear you up and teach you and show you, all I had was sisters that wanted to, scare me because they thought it was funny, so on and so forth.
Oh.
Without realizing that I think at that time I possibly had a gift as being a psychic or a medium, but didn't have anyone to tell me about it, didn't have anyone to help me to develop it and how to recognize it. So I think it was sort of, how would you say it? It got lost in the shadows, should I say. You know what I mean? And then it started to resurface real hard within the past 2 years. But to be honest with you, I think it actually resurfaced when my aunt passed away in 2000. When I was approached by her, I'm gonna go on a limb, it was either one of the spirit guides or one of the spirits that was supposed to meet her soul and
right,
take it as she transitioned. So yeah, so but anyway, I'm glad that I got to this point. I'm glad that I'm still transitioning and learning and growing. And I think that's something that we all must do, is learn, I'm fumbling all of my words, learn and grow and take it to that next level,
Right.
Yeah.
Yep, I've been growing for the past few years.
That's good.
But I don't really care about the growth because it seems like I keep getting thrown fireballs. But
you're getting the fastballs thrown at you, like, okay, this next, that's next. You're like, hold on, wait a minute, what is all this? What's going on?
Yeah, it's a constant thing, but yeah, it's a process. So
let me turn this light on so maybe you can. There we go. A little bit more light. Okay.
You were fine. I can see.
So what? I'm sorry.
You were fine. I can see you okay.
Oh yeah, I was kind of doing it for the video.
The video. Okay, got you.
So yeah. So talk to me. What's been going on, taking place? What's your background? I guess that's where you could start off at.
Okay. Well, let's see. I started seeing spirits when I was 13. The first ones I saw were imps, and it was my 13th birthday, and for some reason I feel like they went on a field trip because it was like literally probably like 5 or 6 that I could see. They were in my hallway, so I'm like, did y'all go on a field trip just to come look at me or something? Like, what's good? What's going on?
So at this point, you was very comfortable with seeing them at the age of 13, or this was kind of like something that was kind of new to you and you kind of accepted it?
Oh, definitely. I was like, what was that? So that was just one of, and since then I've seen them off and on. I don't do pop-ups, like that's one of my rules. Don't pop up on me. Now, if I'm asleep or in that half asleep zone, that's typically when I can see stuff. Okay. But don't pop up being a physical when I'm up here, chilling, watching TV or something.
Right. Okay.
But I have felt spirits. How I know it's a spirit is I can feel them when they're like pushing against me, because I've started to do, well, trying to do some connecting to energy and kind of learn how to do that. But I know it's spirit because I could just feel it. Like I don't know how you do things, but that's what happens with me. Like, for example, I'll give you an example. I was watching the D'Angelo video, I guess in November. Right. And when Kim Porter died, I felt like super connected to her for some reason. And I'm like, we must be friends in another life or something. But so of course I lit a candle for her because the whole situation was just not natural to me, I don't think. So what started happening, it was a song on her Instagram video. What's that girl name? Gonna Love Me? You're Gonna Love Me. That one from I can't remember her name, but she reminded me of Grace Jones. But anyway, so for some reason, when I would go into the bathroom, which should have been a big trigger for me, I should have known something was up, that song would start playing. I'm like, it's not on my iTunes as to play, it's not on my Amazon, but my phone would start playing that. Looking back, I know it was her, because this past November, I was watching D'Angelo video and I was just playing on my phone, and I happened to look up and she was staring at me right on the screen. Wow. Literally, I don't even remember her being in that video, but I looked up on that one scene where they had her staring directly at me, and something said she wants you to channel her. So that was like the first time I did like automatic writing or whatever.
So who is this? So who was the person that wanted you to channel them?
Kim. It was her. She wanted me to channel because she was concerned about her daughters. I don't know if Kim Porter is Puffy's old baby mama.
Oh, got you.
So she has twins. So she was channeling me because she asked me to channel her to give me a message about her twins. And that was like my first time I did automatic writing. But other than that, I just, I feel energy pretty well. Well, actually too good sometimes, but I feel energy. So I've been trying to practice to shield myself, especially driving around this crazy town, Greensboro. I drive like bad side of hell around here. So, I really couldn't even, I can tell you another experience and I'll shut up. So, when I was about in my mid-30s, I was going through a separation. And at the time I was thinking about maybe I wanted kids, but I wasn't sure. I never really wanted them, but of course, when you get married, you kind of like, okay, well, maybe that wouldn't be too bad. So one day I was sleeping and I woke up, and I kid you not, there was a spirit by my bed, which is not unusual for me. Usually I just go, as long as they ain't touching me, I just go back to sleep. But this spirit, OMG, was about at least 8 feet, huge, was dressed in Egyptian garb. And it was leaning over my stomach, looking at something. Okay. And I was like looking at it, look at my stomach. And the feeling was so heavy. I was like, "Ooh, this ain't no low level spirit. I don't know who this is, but they're very powerful." And so they looked at me and saw I was awake, and they disappeared. And that kind of freaked me out. I ain't gonna lie. So I tried to play my little Bible app on my phone. That wouldn't play. I tried to turn on my CD player with the Bible app. That didn't work. So I just had to recite scriptures I knew, because I was like, yo, what is that thing doing up in here? What is it doing with my stomach? But yeah, I've seen a lot. I mean, I've had lots of experiences. So that's me.
Okay. So tell me, what are some of the things that you do to actually shield yourself and protect you?
Oh my God. Well, right. I mean, usually I start out, of course, with the bubble thing. So now I do like the pyramid to cover myself. I make sure I keep candles burning in the house. I do protective measures with my crystals and things of that nature. That old school, I guess, hoodoo type stuff. But
So
that's
do you
mainly what I
feel
do.
that these methods are working for you?
Yes, I do, because when I first moved in this house, I was constantly dealing with what I call grays
Okay.
when I'm sleeping, or if I was, like I said, look over and there's one standing by my bed. But since when I first started letting my gifts grow, I got this huge selenite brick, and it helped stop the grays from constantly being in my dream, because that's draining when you're constantly fighting spirits and then you wake up and then you gotta go to work. It's like you hadn't slept.
Right.
But I haven't had that experience with them for probably about a year or two now. Well, since I got that break, which is about two years.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So do you use like a black tourmaline as well to kind of like
I use
energy
the
or
black
vibrations?
the hematite, salt. I mean,
Okay,
ammonia.
that's good. So you know. Yeah, if you're using like sea salt and you put it around the perimeter of the outside of your house, and maybe at the doorways and the windows, when you feel like when you feel like a heaviness or a negative vibration that may be in the house, and you'll notice it, because sometimes you'll sense that if people are coming to visit you, or people in the house and they have like an aggressive nature, or they are very argumentative, it may be because they have that negative energy that they're carrying around, low vibrations. And
right.
Because they're affected, they try to penetrate, your sacred space. So you want to make sure that you layer your house with that. And so anyone that enters your house, either they will feel uncomfortable. I had something to do. I'm sorry, I'll be back, or so on and so forth. But that's the way that you protect your energy.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Cool. So what is your background in like religion or spirituality?
I'm a pastor's kid. I grew up in Kojic. Then he went non-denominational. And probably about, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, I just kind of got disgusted with the church again. And I was just like, I just stopped going. I mean, I still pray to,
Right.
Jesus and God and all that. But I just feel like the church they just making it into a business, and they don't really do what their mission is supposed to be. So I just, yeah. I don't consider myself a Christian. I consider myself just being spiritual, but I do believe in Jesus. He's another energy, just like everybody else that has energy. He's a strong energy because he has a lot of people that believe in him. So, yeah.
And that's the thing that if nothing else, that's the thing that I want people in general that may read the Bible, study Christianity, that practice their faith, whether they are in a religion or spirituality. One thing that you must remember is that we're all spirits having a human experience. However, while you are here, based on your life purpose and your mission, for whatever reason that you are here on Earth, Earth is just a school. We're here to learn and observe and to record information, right? And in that process, whatever your life mission is, you may get to the point where you start attracting people, right? Where you inspire people. People want to follow you. People just gravitate towards you for any reason.
as you're building that, whether you go into business and you have clientele or, you know, business partners, followers, whoever, right? You want to keep in mind that you don't want to get to the point to where you allow your ego supersede, you know, your purpose, your mission of what you're trying to do. Because a lot of times that will take you off the path. And I think because of religious people, whether they are Christians, Muslims, Jews, Hindus, Buddhists, they want to direct that energy or that hierarchy towards a person that they see that has a lot of influence. And at that time was Jesus, or Yahshua was his original name, because there's no J in the Hebrew alphabet. So they wanted to direct that energy hierarchy of godship to Jesus. When Jesus said that he told his disciples, you would do greater things than I. And a lot of their issues was they did not believe. They did not know of the power that exists within them, because they wouldn't allow themselves to diminish their ego, suppress their ego, and allow the spirit of the Most High to work through them. Because we are all vessels, you know, energy, we're all vessels that house energy.
Right, yeah.
Suppress your ego as you suppress these labels and these titles, you know, spirit will start to work through you. And that's what they were doing with Jesus. They were working through Jesus because Jesus went through those tests. He suppressed his ego. He didn't accept a label or title. You know, when they asked, well, who do we say sent you? And he said, I am who I am. You know, I basically what he was saying is the power that you see within me is not because I am this powerful. The energy or the power and the blessings of the Most High works through me. And this is how I do my work. And they didn't understand that. They couldn't comprehend it. And so that's, if nothing else, that's what I want people to get, that it's not their reverend, their pastor, their bishop, a doctor, a lawyer, all of these different titles, and oh, they do miraculous things. And, you know, and I've even heard it in this short period of time when I'm doing readings and stuff like that. Oh, that's amazing, and this and that. I'm like, look, what I've done is I allowed my body to be a vessel, a vehicle where spirit can work through. It's not me, it's just that I am seated, I was a chosen seed to be able to see and communicate with spirit, and have spirit to directly communicate through me or to me, where I can give the messages to others. And they have the same opportunity, they have the same ability. It's just they never paid attention to it. It either freaks them out or scares them, or they may not feel at this point in their life that they're ready for it. And once you suppress the ego, once you get over the fear and realize that there's no such thing as fear, fear is false evidence appearing real. So whenever you cancel out that it's the boogeyman, that the boogeyman does not exist, if there was a God and a devil, the God and the devil is inside of you, right? So if you're only a aspect of a projection of your highest self that projected itself here on earth to experience a human existence, but you're still a spirit and you still have access to the spiritual realms. It's just how you go about connecting to that source. So I'm off enough. So, you know, I just, that's the simplest way that I want people to understand what spirit is, and to realize that your spiritual journey is it's a personal journey. It's a lonely journey. It can be a lonely. And
And you're just here to learn and observe and not get caught up into all of these distractions that's going on. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've never, I mean, like I said, I knew I had clear abilities, but the only one I let develop was my intuition.
Mm-hmm.
But I never, they have a saying, like, if you desire to be a pastor, 9 times out of 10, that's not what you're supposed to do, because no one wants to do that. Most of the genuines don't want to do it. And
Right.
I didn't want to develop my clear gifts,
Right.
because I knew, it was going to be like hot popping if I did.
Yeah, you can have spirits waking you up in the middle of the night. Have them coming, hey, I need to give a message to my loved one. Can you do this and that? And then when you're doing readings, you're gonna have spirits that come and make you feel certain things, like if they had cancer in their head or in their brain, they're dizzy. They're, so a certain different clairs that's gonna come out within your spiritual awakening, that you're gonna experience different psychic abilities. And so, I'm recognizing now 3 that I've experienced. And that's clairaudient, a strong intuition, like a gut feeling that like I just know things that I shouldn't know. You know what I mean? And what is it? Clairsentient?
Clairsentient, audient, clear station. They got a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, so it's just the one that I'm kind of like waiting to develop within me is the clairvoyance. I don't know why. Where I see, sometimes I'll see images, sometimes I'll see, like, if something happened to someone, like a car crash or whatever, like I'll see a glare image of that, or a silhouette image of that, a flash of it, but I have yet to see multiple spirits just walking around or coming to me and talking to me.
Is that what you know?
That's what I would like to experience. And
okay.
Because it's almost like with the clairaudient, you can hear the spirits, you can hear them communicate with you. A lot of times telepathically, you can just, you can read their thoughts or know certain things that they're communicating with you telepathically. But it's almost like being blind, if that makes sense. It's like you can hear people, but you can't see people. You know what I mean? So
right. I get you. I understand that. Yeah. But I haven't had, as far as, see, that's another thing. I don't know if I'm a medium or not. I've had 2 spirits come to me in that situation. One had like a gunshot wound to his eye, so he was like covering his eye, and another one had gotten into a wreck like 7 years ago and was trying to get a message to his girlfriend. But they didn't give me any identifying information for me to know that. Right. So I was just like, well, you can't. I mean, y'all popped up, but I don't know how to contact anybody for you. Right. So that was a little frustrating. But I don't know.
So you said you don't know how to contact anyone for them.
Right. They didn't give me any identifying information. Like, one of them had on some paraphernalia, which is my brother fraternity. And then the other one was this older white man who either someone shot him in the head or he shot himself in the head. I don't know. But I wasn't given anything other than the fact that I talked to him. So
did you ask them for any specific details?
I did not, because it was just so.
It was a shock to you how they just popped up?
What happened was, like, for some reason, and I don't know if this happens to you, but I'll be in my room and I'll see my room, but a lot of times I'll either be asleep And so in this situation, they came and it was like 2 orbs of light that came around my bed. And then when they got to me, that's when they showed themselves as a spirit.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm not really sure about the medium part. Like, because it seems like by now something else would have happened.
Okay.
But I feel like I am, because another instance, I was sleeping. The only time I yelled, seeing a spirit, was I was sleeping and I woke up and a mother was holding her little boy's hand or some child's hand, and she was literally floating above me, and that scared me. So I screamed, not because of her and her child, but because she just startled me. But I feel like they came to me for help, and I really feel bad about that, because it's, I feel like, she saw something in me and she came to me, and then I scared her off because I screamed.
Oh, wow.
But hopefully they got help, because they were like dressed in like 1800 clothes. I don't know what that was about. So, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, so let me tell you about an instance where the spirit came to me. It was a familiar spirit, actually a coworker that transitioned, passed away. So this was after I got up, I went and used the restroom, I came back, tried to get back in the bed, get comfortable, tossed and turned a little bit, was looking at the wall, and then all of a sudden I see her, right? So I'm like, okay, how can I help you? And I recognized, who it was. And I'm like, oh, okay. And so she told me, what had happened. Of course, she had cancer. She was in the 3rd stage of cancer. She knew that she had cancer. She kind of stepped away from the job, ended up going into the 4th stage of cancer and passing away. She told me what type of cancer it was that she had. And so I was like, okay, so do you want me to give a message to a loved one? And she was like, no, I'm sort of at peace with, everyone. She had just transitioned 3 days before
Oh, wow.
I was like, well, you seem like you're lost. Do you know where to go? And she had this look on her face, like she was frightened, didn't know where to go or whatever. So at this point, I channeled my aunt that's on the other side. And she passed away of cancer in, I think, 99, 97. And so she came through, and I had my aunt, I introduced my aunt to her and say, if you can guide her back, because I don't know how to tell her how to get back. And so, she accepted doing that, and then, they took off. And I tried to go back to sleep, and I couldn't go back to sleep. So, yeah, so sometimes spirits will come to you. They look for assistance, they look for help, because they can see your light, and they feel like you can assist them, you can help them. And like, even at times where you can't, if you know how to channel and connect with, your loved ones, maybe they can assist you. And that way, you can help them and assist them without feeling like, okay, I kind of felt bad because I knew this person, I couldn't help them or whatever, so on and so forth. So, I've had many instances where I had a lucid dream about a coworker who is still with us. Actually, she was working overtime a couple of days ago. And I dreamed of her whole situation. She had a work relationship going on. So I dreamed of their situation, and we were all on this bus. And I remember them getting into an altercation where, like, she was mad at him or whatever. She was coming on the bus with like a plastic sheet, like a bubble sheet, and like a pitchfork.
she was picking at this plastic sheet, walking towards him. Now I'm on the other side of the bus watching this and whatever. And then someone stepped in between them, kind of like separated them. He ended up leaving off the bus. Before he left off the bus, he turned around and looked at me with a smirk and stepped off. And so I'm observing, like, okay, as he's walking off, I'm looking out the window and I see that there's a flower of some sort. It wasn't a rose, it was like some flowers that he had put on the passenger side of the car handle door. So that's what he was pissed off about. And so, okay, so after that, I ended up waking up, taking a shower. So I think it was my spirit guides that came to me. That's how I recognized it. It was my spirit guides. So I heard this voice. So are you going to tell her about the dream? I was like, no, I don't want to get involved. You had a dream for a reason. I think, you might want to reconsider that. I'm like, So go to work. I find her. And I'm like, look, this is something happened where I actually dreamed about you. Are you open to listening to the information? Hearing what I dreamed about. She was like, oh yeah, sure. I've heard about you and stuff like that. I was like, okay, so here's what I dreamed about. So I told her, describe how the guy looked and everything. And she was like, yeah, this guy, he constantly stalks me here at work. He will not leave me alone. I don't want to be with him. Come to find out that he actually was married, didn't tell her, but carrying on a friendship / relationship there at work. She tried to break it off. He didn't want to break it off. And he actually got a little more aggressive. And so I was like, I don't know what to do with this information. I was just told, to let you know about it. So I don't know if you need to. She was like, yeah, well, I've already talked to administrative staff and so on and so forth. So I was like, okay, I did my part, spirit.
Now let me hear. Let me go.
Let me be. So it's just like, things like that has happened. And I'll share that with people to let them know, yes, some people do have prophetic messages. Some people do have like messages that are warnings to either them or someone else, or, spirit may come to you for whatever reason and just give you these visions or these dreams. And, you got to make the choice on whether you're going to work with it and tell who you need to tell or whatever, because that could come back and it could be on you, something could happen to that person. And because you told them, they didn't have time to prepare. So now you're looking at it like, oh man, maybe if I would have told them, maybe they could, So it's having this ability and this gift, it's a double-edged sword. Gift, but at the same time, it could be a headache, But
yeah.
Overall, it's a true blessing. I wouldn't give it back to, for nothing in the world, because it has truly helped me and assist me with a lot of things. So.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So how about you?
As far as my gifts?
Yes.
I feel half and half about it, because it just seems like I don't know. I feel like I just for some reason it seems like I always get put into positions that I don't want to be in. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
And I didn't. I'm thankful I can help people. I mean, that's I'm in the helping profession, so I don't mind helping people. It's just like I have to. It's like extra stuff I gotta do now, and I was already busy. So now it's like I gotta burn my incense. I gotta make sure I clean and charge my crystals. I gotta do this. I gotta make sure I keep them
Take
on.
spiritual baths,
It's
right?
like ongoing.
Right.
Can I get a break? And
Nope.
ongoing. Good God.
Mm-hmm.
Something must fill your energy because I've gotten cold, I guess, between me and you talking. Anyway.
Yeah, so with this gift and ability, you know, you just have to make sure that you protect yourself, that and try to get as much rest as you can and set your boundaries. And what I mean by setting your boundaries, that's literally connecting with your spirit guides, letting them know, look, when I'm out on a date or I'm out and about with my family, I don't want to be, you know, that's the cutoff time. That's my time with my family.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whatever the situation may be, you can set your boundaries. Your spirit guides are your protectors. They're like your assistants. They're your guides, you know. So if they do feel like an energy is coming forth and you don't want to be disturbed, they can stop them in their tracks, or they may allow them to come through. And if they do, depending on your situation,
Mm-hmm.
let that spirit know, look, you know, maybe at another time, you know, this is me time. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you can choose to help them or you can turn them away. You don't need to feel like, you know, overwhelming feeling because you have this gift, you know, because not only are spirits going to want to communicate with you, or angels or deities as well, you're going to have people that know that you have this gift and ability, and they're going to want to know things, and you know, so
yeah, my girlfriend's already hit me up.
So you're gonna be hit from both sides.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So do you have any questions as far as like in your spiritual practices? You know, you're a practitioner now. So like when there's a full moon, like what you need to do during the full moon, if you're actually actively practicing it, or like, you know, like when not to do certain work that you're doing, certain rituals, things of that nature. I'm just get a feel for where you are with your spiritual practice and like maybe some things that I can help you out with.
I mean, as far as the full moon, I don't really have any specific rituals, I guess you can say. I mean, I try to put some my crystals out so they can charge, and sometimes, you know, even though I know the new moon is for manifestation, sometimes I'll go ahead and try to do some stuff for the full moon too, just to use that energy. But yeah, I don't so far I haven't really done it because it used to really affect me. And so for like, you know, week, 3 days prior, 3 days afterwards, my insomnia would be out of control and I'd just be exhausted. And of course, if my energy is down, I can't really do no work anyway. So
exactly,
I haven't done anything up to this point, but that's hopefully is going to change soon.
Okay.
I'll have more time to, you know, rest.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, so do you have any suggestions for me?
Yes. So like what I usually do when I'm aware that it's a full moon and stuff like that, and I wanted to do work, So do you know that there's a difference between the law of assumption versus the law of attraction? Do you know the difference?
Can you remind me?
Sure, no problem. So assumption is a means of manifesting desires by having a state of mind and the feeling that those desires, wishes, and aspirations have been fulfilled. So assumption is basically assuming that it's already yours or assuming that it's already done and to act as if you already have it.
Okay.
Right. So that's I would say that you should work with first, because everybody talks about the law of attraction, right? And really don't know how to attract things to them, right? So if you work with the law of assumption and manifesting it through your desires as if having the emotion and the feelings that is already yours, you already see it, even if it's a car, right? You know, you want to go to this car dealership, you want to see what the car looks like, the particular color that you want, everything that's in it that you want. You know, if you want it decked out, that's the car that you want to sit in. You may even want to test drive it. You want to take a picture of it as a screensaver, right? You want to remind yourself of this car, right? And that's how you actually assume that it's already yours. You smell the leather, you've seen what's in it, you know what color you want, and you can already see yourself driving down the road in it. So that's the law of assumption. So I was saying it is literally a way to create anything you desire by assuming the feeling of the wish has already been fulfilled. Now you're dealing with time and space of it coming into your reality. So that is the law of attraction right there. So you've already done your law of assumption. Now, the only thing that's preventing that from having the gateway of getting to you is time and space, bringing it to reality. So you want to bring it from the vision and the thought of your mind to actually bringing it to your physical reality. So you want to, like the law of attraction is whatever you are giving your attention to or thinking about is drawn to you. So it's the philosophy of suggesting the positive thoughts bring positive results into a person's life, while negative thoughts bring negative outcomes to a person's life. So similar things are attracted to one another. So that's what the law of assumption and the law of attraction is. And you want to use them simultaneously as you get into your reality. I've used this in certain circumstances, whether it was a car, whether it was a house, you know, that's how I use the law of assumption and attraction to work in my favor. You could do that with anything: money, houses, cars, the particular type of, man you want to be with, so on and so forth. But the one thing that happens is a lot of people, like, I'll be doing readings and they'll be like, yeah, is spirit or my spirit guides are do you see any man in my future? Like, will I be getting married soon or whatever? And so then when I start to read them and connect with their spirit guides or connect with their energy, they have blockages. They have a person that they used to date that every now and then they may get together, knowing that they're not going to be, nothing is long term, but they're just playing with the idea, So that's a blockage right there, because if you're trying to manifest that ideal person into your life, or trying to have that way clear for them to come through, they may come through and see that you're playing around with this dude, and then they were like, okay, that's not the one, because she's not ready, So you truly gotta know that if you're blocking your blessings, you gotta quit blocking your blessings.
especially if you're working with the law of assumption and attraction, because then you just delayed your blessing from getting to you.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I literally, like when I first started doing tarot or whatever,
Right.
it'd be like, you need to decide what you want and choose your path, because the universe don't know if you want this or if you want that. So you need to decide what you want. But I want my cake and eat it too.
Yeah. And that's the thing, you know, you kind of confuse the universe.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you say you want this, you say you want that, and you're open for this, but then you're doing the complete opposite of what you say that you want. So you have to have alignment within what you're saying that you want.
Well, see, this is my thing.
Okay.
We're supposed to have free will, right?
Yes.
So it's like, I don't understand how I'm supposed to have free will, but then I'm being told this is your path, this is your destiny or whatever. How is that my destiny when I'm supposed to have free will? If I don't want to do it, I shouldn't have to do it.
Yeah.
But it's just like, for me, it just seems like they going extra hard. Like, what? Okay, I'm trying to learn. Can you calm down, son? Good God.
Yeah, so
like, what's the urgency? I know I'm a healer, but I have to learn. Unless somebody's gonna hit me with the healing gene, and then I'll just go off and be healing everybody. I mean, don't you want me to learn?
Right. Yeah. And so that's the thing. It's like, yes, you do have free will. However, it may be your life path to, let's just say, be a healer or be empathic or whatever, to assist and help people. But ultimately, you have the final choice. You have the last decision on whether you want to hone in on it and focus on it and manifest that particular gift to come out sooner, or whether you want to, slow drip and take your time and, learn and discover new things about yourself, which is, it's all in divine timing. Don't let anyone put you in a position where you feel forced to do anything, and that's with spirit guides, that's with your ancestors, that's with your personal choice and who you're with, whatever. Like, you just have this gift and you need to work with it, and this, and just say, hey, in divine time, I will, allow me to come into that portion of, that aspect when I'm ready to deal with it. So.
Right. Well, like I said, I don't mind doing it, but it just seems like it seems like sometimes I don't have free will because of the events that happen. Okay. Like, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do this, you need to do that. And maybe, what I'm saying, I did this to myself, clearly, because I'm the one chose to come back here. But I hope this is the last go round. I don't want to come back no more. Can I be a guide on the other side, please?
Well, from what I was told in the past life reading, I've been here 3 times before. This time I volunteered to come back.
Oh, shame.
Yeah, and I'm like, why'd I do that? So I wasn't supposed to come back until in the future, right? But I chose to come back because one of my purposes and gifts is to connect with those people that do have a gift and to help them to develop that gift, or the ones that do know what their gift is, kind of, assist them in guiding them to develop that gift, to kind of point them in the right direction, how to connect with meditating, how to connect with their spirit guides, so on and so forth, so that's why I am here. And I have some past life traumas that continue to come up in each incarnation that I have to iron out, you know. So I heard one of my past lives that I was a killer, right? So it comes full circle. It's like, okay, one of my past lives, I was a killer. Then one of my past lives, I was a royalty in Lower Egypt. And now in this past lives, I'm a healer, you know. Or
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? So, but it's just like sometimes even when we dream or we have lucid dreams, a lot of our past lives energies will come up in those dreams, in those lucid dreams. And they may show you, you know, who you were. And I had a dream like that where I seen this person chasing someone else, and they was chasing them like down the street or alley. And then as I started to catch up to this person, they caught up to the person they was chasing, picking them up, and they started, you know, slamming them until they actually ripped apart, like their torso ripped apart from their lower body. And the person looked back, and it was me.
Oh man.
So in that dream, I was like, what in the world did I dream this of? Now, during that particular time, my sister, she was sick and she was in the hospital. Now, I did like a little ritual that night, the same night that I dreamed of this. And I pictured me going to heal her in the hospital bed. Right. So I did that ritual. And, you know, I felt real good about that ritual. And then that night that I went to sleep, that same night, I dreamed of this. So I was thinking maybe that whatever that was inside her stomach had turned into an entity. And that was the entity that I was chasing to destroy.
Oh, wow.
So it could have been two different aspects of it. You know, maybe it could have been my past life coming through my dream, coming through my lucid dream to show me who I was in my past life. So I'm kind of like, I don't know which is which, you know what I mean? So, but it made sense during that past life reading, whenever he said that. And then I had that dream, you know, like a year ago. And I'm like, yeah, I can see myself being a killer.
Hey, look, I don't think you're alone right there, but let's trust
Yeah. Yeah. So do you know about thinning the veil? Like, do you meditate?
I'm not as often as I should, like that. I mean, I do, but I don't know how to explain it. Initially I was doing it with my healing crystals. I kind of just do it when I have time, really. I don't really have time. And usually that's right before I'm going to go to bed. I'll try to do some kind of meditation. So, yeah.
You know what meditation is? Like, I mean, just the different forms in which you do it. Like, do you feel like you have to sit down in front of a candle with the lights off and meditating like that? Do you feel that's the only way you can meditate?
No. If I meditate, I'll do it sitting on the couch or I'll be in the bed. I don't do I only do candle stuff if I like candles every day, but it's for other purposes. It's not necessarily for meditation.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, as far as the veil being thin or thin veil, I just try to be careful with that because I accidentally, I guess, conjured somebody one time. So I was like, oh, I went a little bit of meditation there.
So that's why I brought this up, because I have some information to give you about, you know, if you do any work or if you go into meditation and you happen to go to a different realm, like the proper way of going into that realm. So I'm gonna share this with you to see if it makes sense. So going in between the veil or thinning the veil means that we are, as spiritual beings, can access or have the capability to access the spiritual realms through meditation, opening the veils, through shifting our subconscious to the spiritual. You are, you can create like a circle of power with 4 candles representing the earth, fire, water, and air. And then the 5th would be representation of the spirit, which is you, right? So the candles stay lit while you are, let's just say, transitioning from the third realm to the 4th realm, going from earth to the spirit realm. Okay, so the candles will stay lit while the door is open. So whenever you see these like spheres or orbs of light, or let's just say your you happen to see like light maybe at the end of a tunnel or whatever, however you see the other dimension when you're in a state of meditation, right? You want to make sure that you open that door and you close the door behind you. Because what will happen is once you go through that door, whatever your purpose is for entering that realm, whether it's to connect with your spirit guides, connect with a loved one or an ancestor or whatever reason, right? You don't want to touch anything in that realm while you're in that realm. You want to go handle your business. And then when it's time for you to leave, you want to leave and you want to make sure that you close the door. If you don't close the door, then what happens is you leave it open for other beings to come through that may want to experience what it's like to be in a human body again, or you may have some trickster spirits that come through and want to try to manipulate you or maybe a family member or whatever, right? So that's why it's important to make sure that you close the door when you are done with your visit. So it says, light your incense and consecrate and make sure that you cleanse by moving the incense over the candle lit by the candles. So move it in a circular motion, the candle, the incense, to allow the smoke to hover above the candles. So now you're opening the portals between the worlds. The physical world piercing into the spiritual world. You do this to protect yourself while in the spiritual world. You can either use Carasquilla, you know what that is? Carasquilla is, I'll show it to you real quick. I have a little bit in here. So this is what it is. It's like a little white chalk. I don't know if you can see it.
Okay.
A white chalk or whatever. And you can use that to draw like a pentagram. A lot of people they may hear the word pentagram and get scared because they think it's something evil. Actually, a pentagram is I want to say a device, but it's something that you use for protection. Let me see. Or if you have like maybe a wooden circular prompt that has a pentagram on it, you can use that without using the Carasquilla. But consecrated, so you are creating a circle within a circle for added protection in the spirit world. So basically what you're doing is you want to use the pentagram, and you could either use the Carasquilla to circle and then to draw your pentagram. So that's a circle inside of remember the 4 candles would represent. So you want to use a bronze or metal bowl to sit on the wooden prompt, if you're going to use a wooden prompt, and pour a little bit of Florida water in. So this is Florida water. I'm not sure if you use that for your spiritual practice.
Well, I've used it and it helped me out, but I guess I need to do it. You put it on yourself, or is there other ways you can use it?
Yeah, I put it on my hands. Like anytime that I'm doing readings, it kind of like from reading a person that may have like a lot of heaviness, because either they're grieving hard or they're, because you're pulling on their energy. Whenever you connect with them, even if it's through, let's just say through a computer, right? And you may not be side by side, but you're actually energetically pulling on their energy. And so a lot of times that can be draining towards you, or they, their negative energy can project itself onto you. So you use the Florida water to kind of like dissipate that negative energy, but you can pour that in a bowl and just enough to draw a flame out of, not too much. And then you can ask the spirits to keep you safe, guard you as you travel to the spirit world. Ask your spiritual master, ancestors, spirit guides to direct you while you're there. And then ask the spirits to grant you knowledge. Also ask them to help you and aid you in your magical rites, or whatever it is that you're trying to do when you're trying to enter the spiritual realm. Then from there, you light the incense and say, so it shall be, as above, so below, so within, so without, so the universe, so the soul, and the light. Let's see, and light the bowl. So you want to light the bowl with the light of the incense. So at this time, the flame will sprout up from the bowl because of the Florida water. Say, and so this is your protection. So that bowl, as long as you keep it lit, that's your protection. So you don't have to worry about the flame or the bowl or anything like that, because you will pretty much keep it contained or whatever. Remember that your spirit guides are there to protect you and guide you. So nothing should happen to the flame. So then you can go into the state of meditating or trying to channel to get to the spirit world, and then just always keep in mind that this bowl must stay lit, because that's your protection, the circle within the circle. So this will be your link between the physical and the spiritual. This is going to aid you and feed you what you need in the spiritual realm. You will tend to get weak or drained while in the spiritual world, because your energy isn't matching their energy. Does that make sense? Yeah, I'm saying your energy will not match their energy, so you will tend to get drained while in the spiritual realm. So this is the reason you have the flame, because the flame will assist you while you're in spirit. So that's just a little bit about thinning the veil. So when you do get to the point where you do want to do your practice with that, I've actually astral projected one time during the time that I was meditating.
Where'd you go?
So it was right here in this room, actually. So I was meditating, and I'll tell you the process of it. So as I started to meditate, my third eye started to illuminate. And so what I did was, with my breathing, I started, not shallow breathing, but deep, heavy breathing. One breath in, full breath in, and then release the breath. So I started doing that. And as I did that, I started to
I started to imagine and see the root chakra. And then I raised up the energy from the root chakra to the sacral chakra, to all of the chakras. When it got to the heart chakra, I felt like my heart opened up. And so I felt how you feel like your chest expand. So I was still doing that as I was breathing. And I felt like, I was a warming sensation. And I said, you know what? Because I felt that, I was like, I am grateful. I am loved. So I just started having like a lot of gratitude and saying affirmations that were like positive affirmations. I forgive those who hurt me. I forgive myself for feeling the way that I do. I am pure love. I am pure energy. Me and the Most High are one. And I started saying those affirmations. And as I did that, the light continued to raise up to my throat chakra. And then once it got to my third eye chakra, I started to feel myself lift up, like out of my body. Myself, I was like, stay calm, you're okay. Because what happens is, if you get scared and you jump back into your body, what happens is you mess everything up. So I told myself, stay calm. This is what you asked for. Allow your spirit guides to guide you. And as I continued to see my light rise, or that Kundalini energy rise, when it got to the crown chakra, I heard like a pop. And then I asked my spirit guide, I was like, am I out of my body? And my spirit guide was like, yes, you are. So I looked down at my body was like this. So I started to go outside of the office, went out of my house. I went over there to the garage. I saw the garage, rode it back over, and went over there to my neighbor's house. And I saw their Jeep, or their SUV out on their driveway. Then I went over to the next house, where I was hovering above their house, and I seen their fence. So when I seen their fence, I was like, okay, I went far enough. You can guide me back. Too far, because that was the first time I ever astral projected while I was meditating, while I'm still awake. And so that feeling, what that reminded me of, or what it felt like, I don't remember myself ever dying, but it almost felt like, when the soul leaves the body.
So did you feel like a pulling sensation on your chest? It's only happened twice to me that I can remember, but I always get that pull, like my chest is getting vacuumed, like my soul is getting vacuumed out my body. And the first time it happened, I thought I was dying.
Yeah. No, I didn't feel like I was dying. I felt comfortable, but kind of felt nervous at the same time. So that's why I was trying to breathe normal and breathe deep, so I can, be in control of my breaths. Because knowing that my spirit guide was there. Now, if my spirit guide wasn't there, then I would have felt like I was doing this on my own, and I don't know if I should be trying to do this or this and that. But I've developed the relationship with my spirit guide over the past 2 years, where I feel very comfortable. And I know.
So do you know your spirit guide? I know you gotta go. Do you know your spirit guide?
No, you're fine. We can go up until at least 1:30.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Because I feel like this is important. And
well, my spirit guide, I feel like whoever it was helping the extortionists, I was like, you can leave and don't come back. So I fired whatever spirit guides were for her. I fired whatever spirit guides were for the extortionists. If y'all thought she was for my highest good, y'all can leave. Bye.
Wow.
That's how betrayed I felt by the spirit world, because they sent me a psycho.
What do you mean? Oh, you're saying, okay, so here's what. That's what I wanted to get to. Because I kind of forgot about you was telling me that.
Keep in mind, that's not their fault.
I know it's not their, well, it is kind of their fault.
How?
Because it is. Because she's like, you need to learn. Your spirit guy said this. That's why I'm so hard on you. No, you're not hard on me. You're an extortionist and you're a bitch. That's not being hard. And that's not being a high priestess. You just, because I don't respond to you in a certain way, like kiss your ass.
Right.
You go to the bathroom just like I do. Because I don't kiss your behind and talk to you like a regular person, you put on airs, and she tried to curse me and my family. I was like, okay, you done messed with the wrong one. You may have been a high priestess for 25 years, but you're not going to mess with my family and me not doing anything about it.
Okay, so here's the difference. This is what I'm telling you. Now, you may have a spiritual guide as far as someone that tried to initiate you, that wanted to assist you and help you, but they're not your spirit guide. Your spirit guide.
Oh, no, I know she's not my spirit guide. I'm talking about whatever spirit she was connecting to say that she should be hard on me. I dismissed them.
Okay.
I was like, if you work with her, I don't want to work with you anymore.
Okay. I thought you told your spirit guide that. I was like, oh, no. So and that's the thing. I mean, you want to know when you're feeling pressured, when you're feeling like, okay, this is not a good thing, it's not a good feeling. I don't know exactly what you guys got going on or whatever, because you may run into that during your spiritual ascension where, you're trying to grow and learn. So you may gravitate to different people, that you feel like may have your best interest at heart. And then you get to a point where you realize, okay, I'm feeling pressured, this and that, this doesn't feel right or whatever. And you try to break away from them. And that's the thing. So a lot of these people who are practicing, who were getting initiated into these Orisha circles or whatever, about Alekba, they learn about Yemi, so on and so forth, and they call themselves the son or daughter of. So my thing is, I don't feel like initiations are necessary. I'm not saying that, I'm not telling people to not get initiated, because that's solely on you. You have free will. When you are a spiritual being and you're connected to your path, right? And you know who you are and so on and so forth. When you go through these initiations, a lot of times, depending on who they connect you with, they feel like they can tell you whatever. I mean, and these are just people just like you. They have been initiated into this order or initiated into this spiritual rite where they feel like they have control and power over you. You know what I mean? And then they pressure you to do certain things, so on and so forth, because you're looking to connect with the spirit of, let's just say, Yemiya or Oshun or son or daughter of. When in actuality, what's the difference between that and then what Christians say, okay, I have to go through the pastor, I have to go through the bishop, or I have to go through a priest, Catholic priest, in order to get to Jesus? No, you can go straight to Jesus. As a matter of fact, you can go straight to God. You see what I'm saying? So you just have to be careful out here, because people are using spirituality more so now. I've been in this thing for 30 years, right? And I see a lot more people feeling like they're pressured, feeling like they're duped, or they're gravitating towards this because of maybe the tarot cards or what's going on in the earth now. They realize that, okay, there's a spiritual awakening. A lot is going on. I want to know what's going on. So they will attach themselves to anything that they think that is it, and they have to be careful, because a lot of people are using this for a ploy for their progress, you know, in whatever group that they have going on, and expanding that, or monetary means.
So get this, and I should have pulled out when I had a dream not too long ago that I had a spirit child. She's about 7 years old, and I'm barren. So, you know, so this chick says, well, you know, spirit wants to give you a baby. I said, I'm good. I'm about to be 45. I don't need kids. I'm good. I'm an auntie. So she's like, I can't believe you turned down spirit. Then this heifer says, well, I'll give you a discount on the healing, because you need to have this baby. And on top of that, there's 2 people in my coven that you can heal. Oh, why you can't you heal, ma'am? Ain't you the high priestess? What I need to pay you to get some healing, to get healed, so I can heal 2 of your coven members? You don't get the hell up out of here with that.
So how do you have spirit babies? What is that about? That's the first time I've heard of that.
Well, it's hard to explain, but I saw her, and I've always, if I was going to have a child, I would want a little girl.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw her. The spirit that came to me, the encounter I sent you about the Native American, he brought her to me, and I knew that was my child. But I'm like, ma'am, I'm sorry. God should have gave me you in my 20s.
Right.
I can't do it now.
Yeah.
So thankfully, I'm barren. I'll stay that way.
Right.
Yeah.
You definitely have to be careful. Some of the books that has assisted me and helped me, let me see, like 3 of them, I haven't been through the whole entire book. There's just certain things that I was interested in the books about, so I read up on them. Are you a reader, or are you more like a listener? You like to listen to?
I do both. I read more so than anything when it comes to learning stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna recommend some books for you before we get off of here. The first one is A Spiritual Guide for Those Who Have Psychic Abilities and Don't Know What to Do with Them. And this is by Lisa Ann Rooney. Okay, so I definitely recommend this one. She talks about her being empathic, and there was a situation she was talking about how sometimes she has to draw her aura in before she goes in to a store, because spirits come to her, you know, literally while she's in the store, and she feels overwhelmed. So yeah, so that was a real good one as well. It has all the different abilities in there, the psychic abilities, and how, you know, how to recognize them. Another one is this one right here, the Akasha Records, Master Your Life and Raise Your Vibrations by Melissa Pike. So
yeah, you know, I've been trying to get back there. I went there. Well, I didn't go there. I was taken to there, and I was like, okay, I gotta get up for work. I ain't got time for this. Went back to sleep. Right. Was taken there again. I don't have time for this. We had to 3 times. I was like, yo, like, I gotta get up in the morning. I can't be. I can't.
Right.
And then I can't get back to it. So there's like, oh well, that's what you get. Yeah. You see, I'm hard-headed, right?
Right. So yeah, you gotta, like I say, you can't feel overwhelmed. You can't allow them to overwhelm you. Another book I recommend is The Isis Thesis.
Ooh.
Judy K. King. So it talks about a lot of the decoding of the ancient Egyptian signs. Talks about a lot of different things about the quantum cell, complex of the cosmos, the black hole theory, and the quantum mechanics. So it talks about a lot of that. This one right here talks about the balls of fire, the science of life and death. So this one talks about, this is also by Judy K. King. And I think these 2 books actually go together. because this gets into the underworld, like what people experience in the underworld, so on and so forth. This talks about pretty much like how to die, like when you're on the other side, like how to travel to the light.
Well, if the light gonna take me to be reincarnated, I might have to think of another plan.
So that's the thing, like when you're on that side, you transition, there's going to be a bright light and then there's going to be a dim light. If you go towards the bright light will guide you back here for reincarnation based on your purpose, or if it's your time to come back, from what I'm hearing from that. Now, if you go towards the dim light is your soul. So your soul is going to guide you to your ancestors, right? It's going to have you to connect with them, and then you're going to go through your process and have your life ran back over basically how you lived your life, so on and so forth. Okay. Another book that I recommend is Psychic Development. So this is sharing with you how to be in control of your psychic gifts. And this is by Judy Hall. Right. So it's about the Akasha records, the soul as well, and then different psychic perceptions and how to control your psychic abilities. This right here is Astrodynamics, a complete book of out-of-body experiences. So it talks about astral projection, Robert Bruce. How you can pretty much do it at will. This last book that I'm gonna recommend to you, well, I have two more as my books. So
Got one of them.
Oh, you do? Okay, good. Is that, you got the first one, meditation?
Yeah, I got that one. You got, okay. I'll look for your other one.
Okay. So this is a Encyclopedia of Spirits, right? And this is by Judy Ilks or Owls. In this book, they give you every deity, spirit, angel. It says the ultimate guide to the magic fairies. So I don't know if you deal with fairies or if you have, you know, genies, demons, ghosts, gods, goddesses. So it gives you the names of different ones and how to connect with them, where they originate from, so on and so forth. Like if you wanted to work with them, give them an offering, what type of offering. This is the go-to.
That looks like a good book. Yeah,
it is. Like if you want protection, like when you're traveling about, what spirits to call on, even if you have certain illnesses, a family have certain illnesses, what spirits to call on to try to, you know, heal them. So you say you're a healer. So it's good to know what spirits to connect with, so it can assist you in the healing process.
cool.
Yeah. And so you say you have one of my books. This is the other one. This is the one that I just got through writing in December. This is actually a journal. It's called Meditate to Elevate.
Oh, okay.
So it goes through literally 6 months, day to day. And I guide people from 3 minutes all the way up to 60 minutes of meditating. So if you want to go longer than 60 minutes, you know, you can just go longer than 60 minutes. So it gives you a little bit of writing room to record some of your, you know, some of your work, what you felt, whether you meditated in a chair, whether you sitting down in lotus position. I'm guiding you by telling you to pay attention to your breathing. Take 7 deep breaths. Inhale, exhale through your mouth. How do you feel? What do you feel? What emotions are you feeling? Gratitude, love, anxious, frustration. So there's a lot of people when they're meditating, a lot of times when you do meditate,
it'll bring up different emotions or different traumas that's going on in your life. So it gives you a chance to record it. And through each week, I have week 6 is done, celebrate, take a bow, meditate to elevate. So basically like little things to encourage you. I also have in it like different signs. So let's just say you're Pisces, you're Scorpio, or you're Taurus. Like Taurus is the earth sign, right? So I have the date from which Taurus start to when Taurus end. Then I have the traits of what a Taurus is. Yeah.
Stubborn. I'm a Taurus.
Oh, you are. Interesting
yeah.
that I turned to that, and that's what you.
I know.
Yeah, that's interesting. So yeah, so any other questions that you may have?
No, I know you gotta go.
Yeah.
I got questions, but we ain't got time for that. So.
All right. Well, just let me know. I mean, being that we had this section, that I appreciate you blocking out a section for me or with me. And like if you could think of anything, then you can message me or whatever, and then we could just have back and forth discussions on that. Or if need be, we can do another Zoom or whatever. I won't charge you if you get the second book.
Well, so it's on Amazon. Why didn't I see that on Amazon?
Yes, yeah, it's on Amazon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. It didn't pop up.
It did.
Or maybe I was just looking for the first one. I wasn't.
Yeah. So look for Meditate to Elevate.
Okay.
Christopher Ford. Yeah. So, but other than that, man, I will stop the recording, and we will I'll go ahead and get this over to let's see.